there, and welcome to Granny's Crochet Shop. I'm so glad you can join me today for this tutorial. We're going to start at the very beginning of how to learn to crochet by learning how to make a slip knot. Here you can see a slip knot just below my hook. There are several ways to make a slip knot. Many people do many different things as long as the end product here is this particular knot. I'm going to show you only one way today because that way is going to prepare you for another technique that we are going to learn later. So just bear in mind that there are other ways to do this. All right, so we have the slip knot just below my hook here. So in order to make one of these, I'm going to take the hook out of my loop and I'm going to tug gently on either end of the yarn, and there you go. It popped right out. Something characteristic of a slip knot that you might be able to do with yours if you've done it correctly. Next, I am going to show you the two ends of the yarn, and this end is called the tail end. The end where it stops, the tail of it. The other side of the yarn is called the working side of the yarn, working end, and it's attached to whatever your yarn source is right here. So in order to make this slip knot, you need to lay the tail end across your hand like so. Be sure to leave a good 4 to 6 inches, especially if you're just beginning, so that you'll be able to have enough to work with. All right, so that's what you're going to do with the tail end, is lay it across your hand as so, and then you're going to take your right hand and reach behind and get a hold of the working end of the yarn and bring it up between the middle and ring finger. Because now you're going to wrap it around the top 2 fingers so that you have an X shape across your top 2 fingers. Now it is perfectly okay to put your left thumb right there in the middle of the X to hold things so it doesn't get away from you. I am going to keep my left thumb down below, however, so that you can see what's going on at the X. All right, now it's time to pick up the hook, and it doesn't matter how you hold it because we're just making a slip knot right now. We're not going to do any stitches. So we want to take this crochet hook and we want to put it under the upper right portion of the X. Now we're going to push it through further, and we're going to get a hold of the left portion of the X here and pull it through the top right, just like that. All right, now we gently work our way around so that we have both the working and the tail ends of the yarn in our left hand, and you can see the knot starting to form there in the middle. We just want to gently tug on either end until we have a nice slip knot. Well, notice how large this loop is on the hook. This can be remedied by adjusting our working end. You see, if we want to keep the tail end to the right and the working end to the left because that's how we'll be making stitches, but if we just gently tug on that, we will be able to shorten the loop there. So it's the right size that we need to get started on our project. If we tug on the hook, we can make the loop larger. It's really important to maintain the right kind of stitches, the right size loop for the kind of stitches that you will be making in your project. All right, so let's try it. Let's try it together this time. I'm going to remove the hook and restore my yarn back to the beginning. Now do it with me. I'm going to lay the tail end of the yarn across my hand and have a good 4 to 6 inches. Hold it in place with my left thumb. Reach around the back and get a hold of the working end of the yarn and bring it up under the top 2 fingers. Then we'll take it all the ways around and make an X. All right, you notice I'm holding it in place a little bit with my pinky finger on the left hand as well to make that X really show up for you. All right, now it's time to get the hook. Take it under the upper right of the X. And I'm going to reach up with my thumb and hold it in place this time, and then just pull pull the left side of the yarn through there. Any way you can get a hold of it and pull it through works for me. All right, now we're going to tug gently on the working and the tail end of the yarn and adjust the size of our loop by pulling on the working end. There you have it. There's your slip knot. Now you're ready to begin making a beginning chain. So I hope you'll join me on the next tutorial of how we begin to make that chain stitch and start many of our projects. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.